Hello and welcome to Top Table Duels. Thank you so much for joining me today. This video is going to be a ranked best of 3 match. In the blue we have Emma Start 52. It's 796 who's going to be playing a Spright deck. And down here in the red we have Proto at 831 who's going to be playing Dragon Link. Right off the bat, I'm noticing a Bestial Albalos. I have not seen this in a deck yet. The most forgotten about Bestial, so I'm excited to see what comes out of that. So let me know in the comment section below before we kick this off of who you think is going to win. And with that, let's go ahead and jump into the match. Alright, so Proto's going to start the turn by activating his Boot Sector Launch, which is going to allow him to get into a special summon of up to 2. So he's going to special summon his Rocket Tracer as well as his Absoluter Dragon. And so he's going to sync those two, link those off into the Dragoon Knight Romulus. Romulus is going to activate its effect as well as the Absoluter Dragon. If it's into the graveyard, you can add 1 rocket monster from your deck to your hand. You can use that effect once per turn. So he's going to add another Rocket Tracer, as well as his Dragon Ravine. Activates the Dragon Ravine, activates its effect, sends the Gamma, and then it's going to be met by Emma Start's Ash Blossom. So he'll no more summon the Rocket Tracer, use Rocket Tracer's effect, pop the field spell, special summon out a Rocket Recharger, link off into Striker Dragon, and link off into a Guard Dragon Pitsy. Pitsy's effect, special summoning out the Tracer. He asked for the target, so I'm assuming we're about to be met by this Bestial Magnemite here. Proto's going to think about that and allow it. Yep. Alright. So now he's got to think about what he's got to do here. Magnemite's going to activate its effect. At this point, Proto's play line has been kind of hit twice. He's not drawn any Bestials, so the Albalos isn't going anywhere right now. So he's going to activate the effect of Striker Dragon, destroying 1. You can target one face monster you control, 1 rocket, you're going to destroy that monster, and if you do, add the other monster to your hand. So he's going to go ahead and get back the Rocket Recharger. Activate Rocket Recharger's effect in hand. So this will allow him to special summon because it's kind of one of those ones. It's like in the Salamander Great Play. I'm trying to think of the name of it, but basically on the resolution, because something was destroyed, it allows him to use the Recharger's effect. Special summons out the Rocket Tracer. Thinking about that. Decides to go into a Link 2 and then goes ahead and scoops it up, knowing that his play is over. So Proto is going to go to game 2 and hope that his opponent does not open up nearly as much interruption or a better hand. So he's going to start his turn off with a Chaos Space, discarding the Rocket Synchron, getting himself a White Dragon Wyverbuster. Special summon the Wyverbuster by banishing out the Rocket Synchron. Now he's going to normal summon the Chamber Dragon Maid. So we are playing Dragon Maids in this deck. And then get Dragon Maid Tiding. So this is a Dragon Maid deck in here too. Did not see that coming. So he's going to link off the Dragon Maid as well as the Wyverbuster into a Dragoon Knight. So he's going to trigger both their effects. Get himself the Black Collapse Serpent as well as his Ravine Dragon. He's going to special summon out the Collapse Serpent by banishing out the White Wyverbuster, then activate Chaos Space, putting the Wyverbuster back and drawing himself a card. Gets himself a Ghost Bell, not too shabby there. Now he's going to link into Striker Dragon. Striker Dragon's effect to go ahead and get him the Field Spell as well as Black Collapse Serpent, getting himself the White Wyverbuster back. And Boot Sector Launch, now in hand, activates the Dragon Ravine. Discards one of the Dragon Maid Tidings. Yeah, which doesn't matter if it's in the graveyard because it can banish itself to be able to special summon the Dragon Maid he sent off back. He's then going to send the Absoluter Dragon to the graveyard, which allows him to add back, or allows him to add a, was it the Rocket Tracer he got there? Yeah, so he adds Rocket Tracer to hand. Banishes the Dragon Maid Tiding. special summons out the Chamber Dragon Maid. This is pretty unique so far. I haven't seen a lot of Dragon Maid Dragon Link decks. Goes into a Hieratic Seal off of those. Activates his boot sector launch to special summon himself out the Rocket Tracer. He's going to activate its effect, popping the field spell, special summoning himself out a Rocket Recharger. And he's going to link summon off the Charger. Off the Tracer to get himself into a Pitsy. Activate Pitsy's effect to get himself back the Rocket Tracer. And from here, he's going to go into a Duelist Dragon. I don't see this one too often here. Once per turn during your opponent's in phase, you can target one attack position monster your opponent controls that did not declare an attack, destroy it if you do inflict damage. If a rocket monster is special summoned to the field while this card is in your graveyard, except for the damage, you could special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. Okay, that's a pretty unique little link climbing engine there. He's going to continue to think about this. He's now going to link off the Tracer as well as the Striker Dragon to get into his Quad Boral Dragon. Quad Boral Dragon allows him to discard and then special summon back the Tracer as well as the Recharger because he popped the Duelist Dragon. Duelist Dragon's effect is just going to special summon it right back out. That's pretty good play line there. And then he is going to link for 5 into Boral End Dragon. Boral End Dragon's effect will activate. So he's going to negate one of his own effects and then special summon back, allowing him to go into a Borreload Savage Dragon. Borreload Savage Dragon's effect to equip the Dragoonie Knight Romulus to itself. He's going to set the Dragon Maid Tiding, and from here he has a little bit of an eruption. Omni Negate, bounce, and getting himself into potentially his Bestial Engine. We didn't see enough to play. As well as a effect monster negate, the Dragon Maid Tiding, and a Bell. So, Emma's now going to be able to finally get to play. He's going to activate the Dark Ruler no more. That's going to, yeah. That's going to be a bit of a damper here. So, Emma Stone's going to normal summon the special summon the Swap Fog by sending the Nimble Angler. Nimble Angler's effect is going to activate, which special summons him out 2 Nimble Beavers. Swap will bounce the Nimble Beaver to return to his hand, which does allow him to normal summon, which gives him an extra normal summon of a frog monster, but he's just going to use the normal summon for the Nimble Beaver to get himself back the Angler. It's a good little play line there. Then he is going to Exi summon into Ani Bamaru Soul Sweeper. Proto's got to think here. He's gonna think on Link Summon. Says that's fine. Soul Sweeper is going to banish out the Boral End Dragon. Alright, now he is going to Exi over to the Gigantic. Proto says, I'm going to think here. He's going to tribute the Hieratic. Negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent controls into the end of this turn. I've got to think there. Yeah. Yes, because it doesn't get to bounce, but it does get its tribute effect. But he is going to Druis Worm that. So he's going to Druis Worm on the cost because Hieratic Seal would resolve after. So cost is to tribute itself. But before it's negated, he's going to banish it with Druis Worm, so he doesn't even get the special summon off of it. Yeah, they're checking. It will not trigger. So he's gonna Ghost Spell that because there's some confusion on that. So it's nice that Emma let him kind of take that back, but I don't know if he actually said he was okay with it. But yeah, so just so you guys know, if something goes to graveyard for cost and then gets banished, like if it says it's sent to the graveyard active effect and then gets banished before it can activate its effect, it does not get to activate its effect. Alright, so Dragon Maid Tiding is now going to activate here. He's going to bounce, do some bouncing, which gives himself the Magnum Up back to hand. That's actually a really good interaction there. I like that. yeah, so Emma Star is going to try to normal summon, and Proto's going to be like, man, you already normal summoned the beaver. And Emma's going to say, no, you're absolutely right. And Scoop to go to game 3. So now, kicking us off, it'll be Emma Start 52 going first in the all-important game 3. Alright, he'll activate Bestial Lubellion. Lubellion to get himself the Magnemite. The Magnemite will activate its effect, banish out the Lubellion to activate its own effect. And then he will normal summon the Beaver. Beaver's effect. Beaver will get Gamut here. But little does he know that Emma now has 2 Spright starters in hand, which will get him the blue. Blue will get him the Jet. The most common play line in every Spright deck. He's thinking about what he wants. Of course you're gonna go for the Jet. That's just what you do. And then the Jet's gonna add Double Cross here. Interesting. And then he will link off to go to the Sprine. Sprine's effect to send Angler. Angler to get 2. Actually, he's only going to get 1 Beaver. Right? Yeah. He only gets the 1 Beaver because he's got 1 in hand. And then he's going to overlay into Spright. So what's funny is Proto says, opening the nuts, I see. But little does he know that he had a Beaver in hand. So not really opening the nut. And 2 Spright starters. So on the summon of Gigantic Spright, before he uses his effect to lock you out of going in above 2s, he's going to activate Bestial Magnemite, banishing out the blue to special summon itself, activating its effect. That's a good play because if whatever he does summon here, you don't want him to be able to recycle the blue. Little does he know there's a Spright starter in hand, so he can get back into the blue the next turn. Alright, so he's going to link off the Gigantic into the Spright Elf. Spright Elf effect, we're going to go for the other swap. So this is important here because he can go into Toad and he can set the Spright Double Cross, so he can't just quickly be run over. Because otherwise this would be quite threatening, as you could just run over it. But because he does have the Double Cross, he has a little bit of protection here. So they're both going to resolve their Magnemites. Proto going for the Lubellion and Emma Star 52 going for the Druis Worm. Alright, so Proto says, stand by main phase, we're good. And then he activates the Dark Ruler no more to try to turn off the Toad. He's going to activate the Bestial Lubellion, get the Magnemite to hand, activate Magnemite's effect, hitting out the Jet. So it's most likely he's going to... he can't chain because he got negated. So he's going to activate Magnemite's effect, tribute off into the Lubellion. Emma's got to think here because realistically, if he activates this and he allows it, he doesn't know that he has Branded Beast in hand. So if he's basically thinking, well, if he gets Branded Beast, he's just going to start tributing off anything I go after. So he's probably thinking, I need to get rid of it. He doesn't, which, I mean, was probably the correct play because he already had the Beast in hand. He gets the Regain, but the Regain at this point is now going to start creating some significant advantage for him. Mr. says, I'm going to think on res, so he's got to start clearing some of this out. So he's going to take the Wyver Buster for the Totally Awesome. So at this point, you got to think, what can you kind of do about this? So he's going to just go into battle phase and swing over both. Emma does have the starter, so on in phase, he can just go into the blue. Alright, Toad's going to activate his effect in Graveyard, add back the Swap Frog. He's going to link these 2 off into Heretic Seal, set a Branded Beast as well as a Dark Ruler no more just to threaten his opponent, and he's going to add Star Liege Spright in the end phase. So Emma Star is going to activate Bestial Druis Worm, most likely targeting the Magnemite. Yep, he's going to target out the Magnemite to turn the Regained play offline. But he still has the Heretic Seal to get himself into another Magnemite. So, also on in-phase, he's going to activate that Spright Starter, most likely going into blue here. Proto says you open double starter. Shit, yeah, he did. He opened well. So he's going to activate blue, get himself the Jet, and then draw for turn. And he draws into the other Spright Starter. So at this point, he probably only, he's only got the Smashers to go forward with the Jet. Heretic Seal's effect is going to activate and then return the blue to hand. So that's interesting because I'm guessing he wants him to just normal summon it. So yeah, he's going to tribute off, get the Juice Worm. He knows he has Jet in hand, so he didn't slow him down too much. All right, so he's going to normal summon the Nimble Beaver. So basically, you just gave your opponent a free blue here. What does he think? He says, I'm going to think. So at this point, yeah, he could just Beast, hit the Beaver, and use his Druid Swarm to hit the other Druid Swarm to get that threat offline. At which point, he's thinking, well, I know my opponent has 2 cards that can't really do anything. But little does he know, he opens up the third Spright. He says, oh my god, are you hacking? I would be thinking the exact same thing. The Yugi gods have smiled on Immastar here with all 3 of those. So because he normal summon, or because he special summoned a monster, he can get out his Druid Swarm off of Brand Regained. So he gets the carrot, he special summons in the blue, gets himself most likely red here. Oh no, sorry, Pixies, the one of Pixies. Have we already used red? Nope. So his red still in deck. Special summons the Jet. He said you should play the lottery. He doesn't go searching, so that's very interesting. So he doesn't have the Smashers in deck. So he will link those 2 off into a Phoenix. He's gonna go after the Unknown. So he basically wastes quite a few resources. Goes into the Elf. Is likely gonna bring back the Toad. Yeah, because he needs to get his resources online. He can do the Spright Pixies to boost up the attacks. Alright, so he's going to go in, declare Pixies. Okay. So, he's going to normal summon the Spright. Yeah, so he's going to normal summon the Spright, tribute the Spright itself to get into the Black Collapse Serpent. It's downer that his Wyvern Buster is already in grave, but that is what it is. So he's going to banish out the Spright. On the banish effect, it's going to be met with a totally awesome. It's interesting here, he does not regain off of the banish effect of Spright. Because he negated it, but he can still use the regained. So Proto at this point he forces him. He says you can either Spright Elf to get back your totally awesome, which is fine, or we're gonna go into battle phase. So he does. That's interesting. He doesn't use it. He knows what his opponent has in hand. Oh, he doesn't know the Magnemite. So he lets him go into battle phase without using it. Why would you not just grab something? Okay, that's an interesting that he didn't do it. So he goes into battle phase. So now Spright Elf can't use his effect. Banishes out the blue. Special summons Magnemite. Activate the Magnum's effect. And now he's going to run over. So it's just so he scoops it up because he knows he has the Collapse Serpent in hand. He knows he's gonna be able to go into play. It's still interesting that he didn't use the regained off of Spright. So let me know what you guys think about the duel in the comments below. As always, if you like the content, please do like and subscribe. And I will catch you all next time.
Thank you for watching. Try some of these other great duels. If you like what you saw, give us a like and subscribe.